Yo, what's going on, people? It's episode 8 of the Ajay Rose Show. I got it wrong last time. So basically, there's an episode with Luke. I thought that was episode 6. It's not. It's episode 7. Also, this episode's been recorded before I've released the episode with Luke. So usually I'll be like, yo, thanks for all the love on the last episode. I don't even know if you lot are going to love that one. Like, you could hate it for all I know. I hope you don't, but I'm going to assume you liked it. I'm going to say big up for listening to the episode with Luke, episode 8. Today's guest, boy, what can I say? Popping comedian, bare views on the internet, does bare sick shows, on a mad rise, just rising. It's Kyrah Gray. What are you saying, Kyra?
Ooh, thanks, man. Had my own cheer there. That's good. Wanted to amp myself up. I'm good, man. Thanks for having me.
That's cool. I'm going to dive straight in, yeah. So I was listening to, shout out Michael and Elliot for their podcast, B-Tech, yeah, B-Tech Philosophers.
Great episode.
It was a good episode.
Great episode.
Also, check out the one that Michael done on here, episode 3. In fact, I don't know if it was episode 3. It was an episode, innit? If you just check the back catalogue, you'll see Michael Adewale there.
One of the episodes.
It's somewhere in the multiverse, but...
He's there.
Yeah. But in that episode, you were saying, you only did comedy because you done it. Not only, but you done comedy because it was, part of your uni degree, yeah?
Yeah, that's how I started. Yeah.
Would you have done comedy, do you think, if that wasn't part of your degree?
I don't know if I would have given it a go had it not been something I almost, kind of had to do. I feel like I chose it as a module because I was interested in it. But I wouldn't have discovered the love I had for it and the fact that I was quite good at it had I not had that opportunity. So I don't know. It's a difficult one. So it's not something that people just wake up and say, oh, yeah, let me just become a comic. Do you know what I mean?
I hear that.
Random.
Were you funny, with your friends? Because some comics are good, but off stage, they're not that jokes.
No, I'm the clown.
You got that, yeah?
Yeah, I've always just been the funny one kind of thing. Even in school, I'm the class clown. It's always been my vibe. Do you know what I mean? But it's just a lot of people think, especially when I meet people and I tell them I'm a comic, they're like, oh, I could do that, My friends tell me I'm funny. You probably can't, man. You probably can't. Because everyone thinks they can do it.
Comedy's it's like you kind of poke someone with a stick onto a stage and you're like, well, go on then.
Yeah.
Make us laugh.
It's people looking at you make me laugh, pussy, yo. That's literally how you feel. That's how you feel. And it's intimidating. It's difficult, man, but it's great.
I had that similar thing as well. Not that I done it at uni, but I weren't mad shook when I was obviously shook, but it weren't, I tried it because I thought I'd be good, like you said, didn't it? It weren't I don't know, let's pick 5 random things and whatever one I land on, I'm doing. It was I'm kind of jokes.
Yeah.
Off stage.
Let's see what happens on stage.
Let's see what's happening. Yeah. So when did you start doing it?
So it's 4 years now. Yeah.
Right, 4 years.
Yeah, man.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, 4 years. That's a while. Still what?
It's a while. It's a minute.
So you left uni and just started banging it out full time?
Pretty much. So I wasn't doing it full time. When I graduated, I started doing gigs in London. And then I met my first manager. And then I was just doing shows every now and then. And then it slowly kind of just started to pick up. So even now, I haven't technically left my job. But I am pretty much doing it full time.
Okay.
So it's been a gradual little journey.
I hear that.
Now.
I hear that, yeah. One thing people say to me, it's how do you react to this when you tell people you do comedy? And they're like, well, go on and tell us a joke.
Oh, it's just annoying, man.
What do you say to that?
Say no. What do you mean? Because I'm not knock. I don't walk around just ready to make people laugh.
I do. I'm not going to lie. I do.
No, because more time when I'm in a conversation, it just happens, innit? My mind is quite quick, so I'll find a way to make the conversation funny. You can't come to me and say, tell me a joke, because that's not going to happen.
No.
I don't know how to do that. I can't just think of something on the spot and make you laugh. I'll make you laugh in the conversation.
What would have to happen, though, yeah?
Could never be on a date and a man's like, make me laugh then.
Nah, not like that, but when you tell them you do comedy, they're like, tell us a joke.
I think it's different for guys.
Why?
Because, she'll probably say it quite flirtatious, oh, go on then, make me laugh. It's not going to be the same. When guys say it, it's oh, go on then. Funny girl, make me laugh then.
What, they're expecting you to be dead?
Yeah, I'm not about to pander to your little, whatever ego trip you've got going on here. Absolutely not.
Do you get that a lot when you tell people you do comedy and they're like, because you're a woman, they expect you to like not be good at it.
Yeah, that's all. I get a lot of men as well after I've done a show coming up to me like, do you know what? I didn't find women funny, but you. I'm like, oh. Thanks. Like, what do you want me to say to that? That's not a compliment.
That's like when racist people are like, oh, I don't really like Asians, but you're one of the good ones.
One of the good ones, yeah. Like,
for context, I'm Asian, innit? If you didn't know that,
yeah,
but
being racist.
yeah, I don't look it, but I am. So yeah, like you see the stuff you joke about. I'm interested to know why people talk about the things they do, innit? Like, obviously, always cussing men, yeah.
I'm not always cuss. Why do people say that? That's what everyone leads with. You know, you're always cuss. I don't always cuss men.
No, it's not always.
There's more jokes there. There's ones that people tend to enjoy the most are the ones where I'm cussing men.
No, I hear that. You're good though. Your jokes are sick. Like I don't think I've seen you do badly, and I've seen you a few times.
Thank you.
But like, see when you write jokes, do you think? Because I know some people they literally just like vomit whatever's funny in it, and then other people. Like I had Dinesh on, and I asked him a similar question, and he was like, "Oh, when I started, I was just saying whatever's funny in it, like whatever came to my head, I'll just say it." And then he was like, "No, actually, then I learned a bit more. I was like, no, these are the things I want to talk about. So I will make them funny, like it's kids or whatever, innit? How do you approach that?"
I think I'm still in that stage where like, I'm like, I need to think of something funny now. And if something's not as funny as my other stuff, I'll write it off. I'm still at that stage where I can find something that I really, really want to talk about and make it funny. I'm more like a funny situation happens. Let me write that down. You know what I mean? Like I find it really hard to talk about like, this happened with my mum today. Let me see how I can make that funny. I don't know. I don't know. That's a skill that I haven't got yet.
I hear you on that. That's like something. You know what another annoying thing? Yeah, you know that show Room 101. Have you seen it?
I've heard it.
Where they basically put like mildly annoying things into a room. Not like super annoying things like, yo, world poverty, let's end it. It's more like when people clap the bus driver or something random like that, yeah. If there was a comedy Room 101, one thing I'd put in there was what you just said, is when something happens there and people would just be like, oh, there must be a joke in that though, innit? There must be a joke in
But
this.
you know what?
Allow it, man.
The weird thing is that there's a joke in most things. And because I make videos a lot, I make a lot of ranting videos. And I do know how to find the funny in a situation, but more time it's finding the funny in a negative situation that's happened to me. So like when I got robbed, for example, or when I have these encounters with the people that stop you in the street, or when a man has approached me. And like I know how to pick the funny based on like making the audience laugh at me basically. But I don't know how to say like, my mum told me to take out the trash. How do I make that situation?
Yeah.
How do I make that into a funny joke? I don't know. I think there's a skill in that. I'm still learning how to make all of my jokes very personal to me. And I think once comedians find that place where they're able to speak about themselves and expose themselves on stage and make the audience be able to laugh at their lives as a whole, I think that's when comics reach their peak. Like that's when they're at their most successful.
You reckon?
I think so.
What?
The people that I laugh at the most are people that are not scared to just make a fool of themselves and every situation that they've been through, their family, like anything. And you're just laughing at it. You can be laughing at peak things, but you don't know it's peak. You're not realizing that it's peak.
Yeah.
Because they've made it hilarious. And I feel like once people get to that point, I think that's peak comedy. So I'm getting there. I'm on my way.
I hear you, like, I hear there is a skill to like pick those kind of like making funny out of like, I don't know, not tragedy, but like peak stuff. And it's like, for me, I tried to write a joke once. Because I tried that thing where you were like, you're like, I can't just make anything funny. I got gassed in it. I was on some long train, from Norwich. And I was like, yo, let me write some jokes about trains. And they were all whack. They were just rubbish. Like,
I'm not someone, I can't write jokes under pressure like that. Like, I can't be like, there's a joke I can make about curtains. Let me write something about curtains. Or I'm in a car right now. What's funny about cars? Or like, I'm in a restaurant. What's funny about, I can't.
Nah.
I'm very observational. So I'll write jokes in the moment. If I see something that's happened, I'll write it down. If I think about something, I'll write it down.
Yeah.
And I try to get my material from that. Maybe I need to start kind of pushing myself into making a funny out of everything. Because I feel like there is a joke in everything. I just haven't discovered the funny.
I hear you.
Do you know what I mean?
I hear you. I also, yeah, you lot listening, again, I forgot to promo the segment, Would You Rather's coming in about 20 minutes, yeah? I keep forgetting to do that at the start. So if you're still here, look out for that, and it's going to be sick. Well, I hope it's going to be sick, but yeah, that segment's coming. For all the loyal listeners are like, yo, like, please say he's going to ask 5 random questions. I am. Sorry, I always forget to promo that, innit?
It's fine.
I gas up the guests and then I just forget the segment. But
oh no,
the segment's coming,
it's
you lot.
coming.
It's coming. So yeah, obviously, like, you see, with like I was saying, like you're just flying at the moment, and like with comedy, yeah, like sick gigs, and as well as one thing with you, it's like, I guess this is the same with any industry. There's gonna be, all right, for context, I was watching some basketball thing today, yeah, and then LeBron James has got a son who's like 18, and then he's not in the NBA, but some NBA players were like, LeBron's son's already better than some of these NBA guys, innit? And then it got me thinking, and I watched this interview, and it got me thinking, like, there are some people that do well, but they're not always good, innit? Or like they get pushed in a certain way, but maybe you sit there and you're like, I don't know how you're in that position, because personally I don't really rate you or what you're doing, but you're sick is what I'm saying, innit? That was a long way of saying you're sick. Maybe I just saw that LeBron thing. I was like, yo, that's an interesting story. How can I work that in? But I don't think it was worth it.
No, it was worth it. I saw where you were going.
Basically, some people get pushed in a mad direction they don't always deserve it. You, I think, like, you're good in it. So
Thank you.
But when did things kind of like take off, or maybe it wasn't like a point, but when did like how did the momentum build is a better way of asking.
I'd say, so I supported White Yardie on tour last year, and I think that was when, after I did that, I think a lot more people started to know like who I was, and people started to come out to shows. They started to recognize my name a bit more. Then after that, I started doing more shows, and then I started doing a lot of blackout shows as well.
The Gong Show.
The Gong shows, or like the Up the Creek ones. And then I got the O2 gig. And then so everything kind of just started like, it just, I don't know, it was like a gradual incline. Everything just kind of started to fall into place, one after the other. And then I found my agent. So then like more opportunities just started to come. So I was, yeah, man, I've just been super grateful. I feel like God has just put everything in place for me. And I've just been making my way through this journey.
Yeah.
According to his will. Do you know what I mean?
Okay. God's plan and that.
God's plan, man. Always.
Shout out God.
Every time.
Yeah, you performed at the O2, innit?
Yeah, man.
What's that like? How did that come about before I asked what it's like? Like, obviously you just kind of explained them, but like, how'd you go from whatever you was doing to the point where someone's like, Kyra, you want to do the O2, and then talk about the process of that? Because that's nuts.
So to be fair, I actually got that gig from doing the Blackout show.
Oh, was it?
Yeah. So I think I'd won it 3 or 4 times. And then by this point, it was like, just like, I've got a gig for you. And I was like,
I got a gig for you, you know.
Yeah, but I didn't give too much away at first. It was just, I've got a gig for you. Da-da-da-da-da. And I was like, absolutely. Do you know what I mean? So it was just crazy. And this is why I feel like, because to be fair, the shows that people might not think matter that much, you never know who's in the audience. You never know who's watching. You never know who's there just kind of waiting to give you an opportunity. And that's why I feel like it's kind of important for you to give your all in any room. If it's a pub, if it's a restaurant underneath a pub, it's like some underground bunker, even if it's 1,000-seater, you don't know who's in the audience, man. There could be 6 people in the audience and 3 of those people are agents.
Yeah.
You have no idea, do you know what I mean? So I think that's something I've learned quite early on. You can't do any shows half-heartedly because there's always...
What do you mean give your all, though? Because in sports, you can kind of walk around or not run as fast. But, like, how do you not give your all in comedy?
There's definitely, like... Because I know there's been times where I felt like, oh, like, this gig's going to be dead, man. Or, like, I don't know. Like, I kind of beat myself up before the gig even starts. So I'm like, oh, there's 12 people in here. Why am I going to give the same energy that I would give to a 1,000 seater. Do you know what I mean? But you have to act like it's the same. Because the audience have paid for their tickets and they're still expecting a show. Do you know what I mean? So you can't give 12-seater energy. Basically, is what I'm saying. You have to give the same energy every time. You have to deliver a show.
Yeah.
And I think it's just good discipline for yourself as well.
No, I agree. It
is. You to treat every show like it's the biggest show.
Yeah, 100%. I look at it where it's like, more recently, I didn't always have this mindset in it. Like, obviously, I took a little break in it from comedy to like study and learn it and just reassess things a bit. And one of the things I realized was like, yo, some of these small gigs, I just changed my thinking of them because it's like I do luckily, like thankfully, do some good gigs now. But a lot of them are still these random ones, like random small. And before I used to be like, oh, I just want to be doing big gigs, man. But then I was like, no, actually, see these small ones, it's like, that's where I train. That's where I like get my reps in. So when I do the big ones, they don't seem that. I think the small ones are harder, you know.
Yeah, sometimes. I'm not going to lie. I feel like
What do you think?
It's the gigs where you can see everyone looking at you that scare me the most. The gigs where the lights are up. Because when the lights are up, there's no ambience. Because when there's certain things that really help to make a gig good besides you.
Like what?
You know what I mean? Like the venue, the seating, the lighting, the shape of the room. There are so many things that can help.
The height of the ceilings.
The height of the ceiling. There are so many things that can help. So when all of that's wrong and it's a high ceiling, the lights are on, like everyone's just looking at you. Everyone's came in on a weird vibe already. Everything's kind of fighting against you. That I hate those gigs. I feel like when it's a big gig, everyone's kind of come for a good time.
Yeah.
Everyone's come for vibes. They know what they've come here for. When it's the little intimate gigs, sometimes when it's like in a pub, you're going to have people that haven't paid for a show. They're just at the pub. They're just trying to have a drink and they got some dickhead like telling jokes in the corner. They're not interested.
I done that once at some Millwall pub.
Millwall.
And all the people I brought were black. All my friends were black. And we were the only like non-white people. We walked in, just bare looks, and I'm banging out all these like jokes about being Indian and that, and they're just giving you that look like, what are you lot doing around here? Like,
yeah, man, get out of here.
You know what the worst thing is? Yeah, you know them gigs where it's like bare lit, like not lit as in sick, as in lit as in lights.
Yeah.
You know what I hate the most? Yeah, is when you can see other comics and they just ain't laugh once. And then they just randomly will come up to you after and be like, hey, great set, man. It's what do you mean great set?
No, but do you know what? Something I've noticed is that I laugh less now. Like, when I'm watching other comics perform, I even spoke about this on a podcast the other day. It's more like I'm focusing on what you're saying, and I'm more looking at the placement of your punchline, and I'm kind of studying what you're saying, and I'm like, that's how they got the joke. Oh, that's really witty how they did that. So I'll chuckle, but I've realized that the more I've kind of been doing this, I'm not gonna laugh as big because I'm listening to learn kind of thing. If that
I hear you. I analyze as well.
Yeah, I think a lot of comics do that as well now. Because I was even getting at someone the other day. I was like, I'd never see you man laughing. And they were like, no, I'm laughing, but I'm taking it in.
I'm laughing in my brain.
Yeah, like I'm laughing inside. So it's not, I don't, when it comes to comics, I say don't take it personally because I think it's more, they're either focusing on what they're about to say when they go on stage, so they're not even paying attention to you, or they're actually listening to your punchline. A lot of people come up to me and they're like, oh, if you did this bit with this bit as well. So like a lot of people are they're listening to your jokes and like, oh, it'd be really funny if she did this after that. Comics are always trying to find a way to make something funnier. So I feel like they're...
Do you do that? Do you just give unsolicited advice?
I don't do that.
Nah. Unless I don't...
I don't think I'm in a position to.
That, and also, like, I'd only ever do that with, like, my friends who we might have, like, talked about jokes with before. Or if he's like, yo, here's my new bit, I'm going to try it. Let me know what you think. And then we'll talk in it about... If I just met you at a gig, I'm not going to be like, yo, Kyra, like, just a couple of pointers from an open micer. Like, I'm not just going to start doing that.
No, but I feel like it definitely helps. Like, if it's, as you said, if it's someone that I've worked on jokes with and they go test out a joke that they came to me for help with, I'm be like, oh, yeah, that was sick. What if you did this? What if you did that? I think it's completely different. I would never go up to a comic that I've never met and be like, just a thought.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I would never do that. I don't think I'm in a place to do that.
Nah. I don't mind it when some promoters say that because I'll at least listen to what you're saying, whether or not I agree with it. I don't always agree with it, but some of them have said some good stuff where it's like, yo, you're good, but X, Y, and Z, or like this, that, the other. And it's like, you know what? I didn't think of that. Thank you. And that's a good point.
I always listen to people that like have been doing this longer than I have, and especially people that I've been watching and I respect and I rate. I'm always going to listen to what people have to say. But there are definitely people that just like to give unsolicited advice just to make themselves feel like they're
superior, innit?
They're the big man. I've been doing this for X, Y, Z years, so I know everything. Yeah. So, and I can tell the difference. Do you know what I mean? I can tell when someone's actually doing it because they care, and when they're just doing it because they want their voice to be heard.
I know, yeah. That's definitely, yeah. I've had that a few times where it's like, I'm going to just smile and be like, oh, thanks. But then be like, what the fuck was that? Like,
okay.
So what, when you walk into, we done a gig, not the other day, but a little while back in Crawley, yeah? I'll be real, when I got there, it was like 200, I don't know how much people, but it was quite a load of people, like 150 at least, yeah? It's mostly all white people, and it's mostly 30 plus white people as well, not like youngsters. Well, there was a few youngsters, but when I walked in, I was like, I have no idea how this is going to go, innit? And then in the end, both of us done well in it, but my question is, I could just make my question short, you know, I always just take some long way of getting there, but anyway, my question is, how do you assess like a crowd? Because you basically, I think you kind of got to like, I think you got to basically judge. I think like for right or wrong, you basically judge people before you've even met them. In a way you do, innit? Like you do, you're like, oh, you all look like this, so you might not like this joke. But how do you see that?
I feel like if anything, I've kind of learned that I can't judge a crowd.
Neither can I.
Appearance. I feel like any time I thought that a gig was going to be terrible, it's gone really, really well. And sometimes jokes are jokes. That's something I've learned. Like, don't get me wrong, you'll have a bad room with a bad crowd. Everyone has that. But I feel like 9 times out of 10, if your jokes are funny, people are gonna laugh. So you can't always just judge by looking at the audience. If they look a bit rowdy, if they look a bit laddie, oh, they're probably not gonna like this. Or if they look a bit geezerish, they're probably not gonna like this. I've just learned that you have to just go with it, man. I've done shows in areas and I'm like, then they're gonna kidnap me. You lot are not gonna see me ever again.
You're texting your mom your pinned location on WhatsApp.
I'm saying I'm here. I got here at this time. If I'm not home by this time, you know where I am.
There's a tracker on the car and
but you can't judge it, man. Honestly, that's one thing I've learned. People will surprise you. They really will.
It's true. Obviously, you've gone viral a couple times on the internet.
Yeah, man.
I clocked one thing, yeah. I was watching some of your clips. You got the same crepes as me, innit? Them Puma ones.
Oh, which ones? Oh, yeah.
That's what I know. I was like, yo, where have I seen? I don't know if that means I've got mad swag or I need to reevaluate. I don't know, but same crepes.
I don't know if they were probably men's trainers, to be fair. I buy any trainer.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
They're 30 crepes, though.
Yeah, they're comfy, man. They're
comfy. Hard still.
They're my gym trainers now, though.
Same.
Yeah, man.
They're beat. I used to wear them to shows, but they're all a bit,
they're mash up now.
Shout out to Pumas, though. You served me well, but...
Did your job.
For a good price as well.
I can't remember how much I paid for them, but it wasn't...
It probably went over the odds.
No, it wasn't mad.
Nah.
And I'm a size 6, so it was like junior size.
You got that glitch.
Yeah, man.
When does that stop?
Why would you want it to stop?
Nah, because why can't they make like size 10 junior shoes?
Because that's not a junior size.
But
size 10, you're a big man. Big man's shoe. I shouldn't be size 6, to be very honest. For my height, it doesn't make sense.
How tall are you?
I'm like just under 5'8".
I don't know if that's tall for a woman or what.
I feel like it's just above average. I think.
I don't even know how women, like, I know men have a thing about height. I don't really know how, like, because obviously if you're tall, then it's perceived as good. And if you're not, then some people think it's less good.
I feel like for a long time anyway, it's been like men prefer shorter women.
Is it?
I think since Meg the Stallion, they've all been saying they want a stallion, they want a tall babe now. But yeah, I feel like it's always been a little debate there. But I think I'm just above average height for a woman. I think average height is like 5'7" or something.
Okay. Now I was just trying to work out as well when them junior size stops, but
it's not gonna stop.
No, as in like, what's the limit though? Like
6. I think 6.5 actually. I think it's 6.5 because I've bought 6.5 junior shoes.
Because I've had big feet for a while. I was buying men's crepes from young, like.
Yes, it's over for you, man. It's the full price. You're not gonna get away with that. There's still some websites I order from, and like it's not juniors.
But it's like the women's one, not the junior one.
Yeah, it'll be women's.
Peak.
But more time. Foot Asylum, JD, Nike, juniors, man.
They got you. Well, It's nice for some.
Thank you.
But anyway, point was in that video, again, long diversion to a question, but the point was, first of all, sick cret. Second of all, obviously you've gone viral a couple times in it for different stuff, yeah? What's some of the weirdest stuff you've had, like, from going viral, like responses or messages or comments or people seeing you in the street? Well, what's some of the weirdest stuff that's happened?
I don't really get weird stuff happening. I get a bit of like strange DMs, but more time it would just be people quoting my jokes and trying to use it on me. Do you know what I mean? So it's not like...
Got nothing weird.
It will be stuff like, so I have the sit on me cocky joke, and it's just men like, I want you to sit on my cocky, or like, men like, I love your fupa, or like just weird stuff. I had someone write me a poem, which I actually found,
Was it a good poem?
It was really sweet.
Did you reply or just leave
I
it
said,
unread?
oh, this is really sweet.
And then what?
And they said, is that a yes?
Is that a yes to what?
They wanted...
Oh, it's like, yo, you want to meet up? Here's a
Yeah.
poem. Oh.
But...
And now you're married?
No. It was a really sweet poem. I feel like it would have been peak if I aired. I wanted to acknowledge that it was a really lovely...
How do you know you didn't copy and paste that? Or was it personal to you?
I mean, I can't remember actually, but I just remember reading it and being like, oh, this is really nice.
Did you run that through Google to double check you
No,
didn't?
I've never run anything through Google. I don't think it's ever that serious. Even if you've gone through the trouble to Google a poem and then send it to me, that's a lot of work.
True.
Do you know what I mean? I appreciate the effort that you've gone through.
I hear that. Makes sense, yeah. Googling's a bit long, to be fair.
It's long, man.
Reason I asked you, because I had some videos get some, like, all right views and that, yeah. Had a couple people, like, debating what nationality my trim was. I don't even know them, yeah. They were in the comments, like, these Indian guys were like, one Don tagged their mate, like, yo, I'm sure this is a proper English boy trim. And then his mate was like, nah, it's a Bangladeshi trim. I'm telling you, it's the Bangladeshi style. And they were going back and forth. And I kept putting it on my story. And then in the end, they were like, hey, by the way, you know, this guy's clowning us on this story. And then they messaged me in it. And I was just, no poem, no, but...
I think people just forget that you can see stuff. Like, I think a lot of the time when people are talking back and forth with their friend in your comments, they're not thinking that you're reading it.
Nah, but that's kind of what you want, though. You
Yeah.
want someone to see your video and tag their mate and be like, oh my God, this is you. And then
Yeah.
the mate says whatever back.
I quite like it. But I feel like it works both ways with like negative stuff as well. Sometimes people think that you can't see what they're saying about you.
Do you get negative comments?
I don't really... I think when like blog pages post me, there'll be the odd weirdo in the comments saying something, but I don't pay attention to it. I don't read blog comments. If I see 2 or more negative comments, I'm off the page and then I won't see.
Yeah, so you just shut it off just so you don't
because I know what I'm
that.
like. And it will consume me, so I'd rather just not pay attention to it. To
Yeah,
me, it's not
yeah.
happening. So. Y'all can keep talking. I ain't seen it. I know.
No, I hear you. I've had a few, but mainly it's just shit like I'll post a joke and it will always be someone with no picture on their profile. And it'll be some weird stuff like, oh, where's the funny or whatever.
Yeah,
and it's like,
it's just...
bruv, reveal your identity, man. Like, not that I will do anything, but like, say it with chest.
But this is why, like, I don't pay attention to it because more time as a kid, it's like some 11-year-old with a high top from Lincolnshire. It's just some random someone that is just they feel like it's bants. I feel like, who was I saying this to the other day? Trolling is like the new prank call. Like the
You
way
reckon?
I think so, because the way people just like, as kids, you'd prank call someone, you'd think it was bants, like, and you're not realizing that you're actually really pissing someone off. You're really irritating them, but to you, it's just bants. Haha, it's so funny that I keep calling this 40-year-old man over and over again. Haha. And I think a lot of kids, especially now, they don't realize the severity of what they're saying on the internet, especially when they're talking to adults. They probably think, oh, it's fine, it's minor.
I don't know, though, because I think prank calls are a bit more informal. I used to do them.
Trolling is more deep. But
Like, trolling's
the way we use
like,
the
I
prank
want
call-
you... Say like you're trolling me, it's like,
Yeah.
yo, Age, I want you to know I think you're a shit comedian.
But then-
Whereas a prank call's like, I just want to ring you and talk nonsense, and because I'm like some teenager, we're gonna just piss ourselves laughing.
But it's a hidden identity.
True, that
So like
similar.
you, a lot of people, they put a voice on or they just breathe heavy down the phone.
That's weird.
It's doing weird shit. Exactly.
That's weird.
A troll account is they have no display picture. There's no followers. It's just someone that's made this fake page to try and antagonize you. And for them, it's bants, isn't it? For them, it's jokes. This is hilarious. This is the highlight of my day. To you, it's an annoyance.
I used to do some dumb prank calls.
I used to do Knockdown Ginger. I don't think I really... Did I really used to do...
Do you reckon that's a form of trolling?
Yeah, probably, man. I think that's funny, though. To this day.
You get a mad thrill from that.
It's the running.
Mad thrill.
I don't know what it is. I don't know why it was so exciting. But after you knock that door...
It's nut. And you run for time.
For time!
For
As
ages.
if people are going to chase you for that long. Reach the other end of the street.
Literally. I'll run across London after one knock.
It's ridiculous. And more times people aren't even answering the door, man.
They're not. They'll see you run from the window.
Yeah.
And you think you're like, you've caused mayhem.
I'm so sick. I'm so fast. I'm so quick. No, man. And more time, everyone's got ring doorbells now, so you can't even do that anymore. You can't play Knockdown Ginger.
Someone probably put it on their Insta.
Yeah. It's not worth it anymore, man.
Be like, come collect your child.
Yeah.
Look what he's doing.
I can't lie. I think the last time I did it was uni.
You done it at uni? I'm talking about when I was like in school. You done it in second year.
It was to cheer up one of my friends, and we got drunk and we started playing Knockdown Ginger.
In halls?
No, so this was like... Wait,
where'd you go uni?
Kent. Yeah.
So you was obviously living out then, innit? Not living at home.
Outside of campus, but there was this place called Hell's Place where majority of the students kind of lived after first year. So a lot of second and third year students and fourth year students lived there. But there was also a lot of people that just lived there, like just residents. So it was just funny, man. I don't know.
In uni, you know?
Yeah, man. We were going for time. We were having a great time. I don't even know why we were going for so long. It was cold.
What, you done multiple knocks?
Multiple knocks. We made our way through that whole place. Up and down the hill. Yeah, man.
Bro, I respect it.
Thanks, man.
It takes guts to do that when you're an adult.
That's not an adult. This is the thing. Adult is not until 21, man. I've only been an adult for 4 years as far as I'm concerned.
You reckon?
Yeah, man.
True say, you're playing Knockdown Ginger at like 18.
Exactly. I look back at 18-year-old me and I'm like, that's still a child. That's actually still a child.
Mm.
And like, I'm so far from that right now. I'd still play Knockdown Ginger though.
You would?
100%. If I had the opportunity. And
you
I
have a
wasn't gonna
bad
get
gig.
caught.
You might just
No,
pick
it
yourself
would never,
up.
maybe not now. Get caught on someone's ring doorbell. Don't know if it's worth
in their Millwall ends, get caught lacking.
No, I wouldn't do it in like racist area.
Do it in like some posh area.
Get caught in like some trap door.
They'll have the ring doorbells though in the posh
exactly.
areas.
I don't think it's worth it anymore.
Did you ever do the one where you do it on flats and you just buzz all the... That's not as fun though, where you buzz all the flats.
I don't think I've ever done that.
Because the most they do is they go to the buzzer in their house and there's like,
Someone's like, fuck off. That's it. There's no thrill in that.
Do you know what I used to do, prank calls. Used to ring cabs for people, innit? I don't know why I used to do
nuisance.
that.
See, that's just nuisance behaviour. You're inconveniencing people.
Like,
I was just knocking on doors.
It's fun. It's a mad... You'd ring cabs to like... someone, say like you're at your friend's house and they got some dickhead neighbour and it's bare late. You're like, fuck it, should we ring a cab? And then when the cab arrives, you just die of laughter, innit? Like, it's nuts. But you also feel like a prick. Looking back, I felt like a prick, but it was funny.
I'm just trying to think how... Oh, you know what we should do? Ring a cab for him. Like, I want to know why that was the thought process.
No, it'd be late at night. You know when you're having like a sleepover or something, it'd be late at night.
I've had some late night sleepovers and never in my life I thought, you know what? She's a dickhead. Let me call her a cab. Like, that's never happened.
You give a special request as well, like, my doorbell don't work, so can you knock really loudly? So it's 2 in 1. It's Knockdown Ginger and a cab in one. Ultimate.
That's actually the first time I've heard of that.
I don't know how the idea came about, but that took Knockdown Ginger to... You know how they say, like, weed's a gateway drug, Knockdown Ginger's a gateway to ringing cabs.
I don't think it is.
Trust me.
You're the only person I've ever heard.
If you rang cabs for people, let me know, innit?
It's definitely only you.
Someone else had to have done that.
Nah.
Damn.
That's a you.
I did feel bad, though. I didn't feel good. But...
Because it's not even the neighbour that you're really inconveniencing. It's the cabman.
Yeah, that's why it's peak.
He's got to go back. he's losing out on money. He's all wasting petrol to get here.
If you're doing it to someone who you know is a bit of a dickhead, you don't feel so bad about that. But you do feel bad for the cabman who's like, he's innocent in this. Like,
all you're doing is waking them up. They get to go back to bed. It's not even that much of an inconvenience. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's not that bad.
I know you lot were standing there giggling out the window like, oh my days, look at him. Oh, look at him wake up and go straight back to bed.
Crying.
Yeah, see?
Tears.
That's so funny.
Some of my friends used to do this as well, where like, I didn't do this because I had boundaries, yeah. But you know what they used to do? They'd do prank calls on like, you know, back in the day, you'd have house phones, yeah. You ring someone's house phone, knowing that their mum would answer. One time, someone done that to some other guy, and then the dad was like, "Yo, if you phone back again, I'm gonna kill you." And we didn't know if he was serious or not. He's probably just chatting shit, but we rang back again just to check, innit? We had to be sure, innit?
Of course they were not going to do that, but that's so funny. I used to be so scared of people's parents as a child.
What,
I feel like people don't have that same fear anymore. I was scared of adults.
Like, did you knock for people back in the day?
Did I? Mom didn't really let me go outside. My neighbours would knock for me. My mum didn't like me playing with them.
Why not?
She just thought they were ruffians. Like, just,
Oh, is it?
Yeah, she didn't like me mixing with people that just look a bit bad breed. Do you know what I mean?
I hear that. So did you end up mixing with them or?
She'd let me out sometimes.
Sometimes.
But like, she wouldn't let me out a lot.
Had you on the lock and key?
Yeah, no, my mum was very strict. Like, sometimes my friends would be like, no, we're not even going to bother knocking for Kyra, man. She ain't going to be allowed outside.
Did you used to call people's phones and be like, "Hi, can I speak to Kyra, please?"
No.
What area you must have done that. Well, how did you communicate? MSN?
We had mobile phones, yeah, MSN.
Ah, see, this was before things like phones, though.
No, but because...
You're 25, innit?
Yeah.
I'm 29.
Oh, okay.
So growing up, like, it weren't common to have a phone. And even if you did, texts were 10p. That's long.
I had the little Nokia. I think my first phone was a little brick Nokia.
Yeah.
And then I had an LG chocolate.
Is that the drop one that's like got a curved edge?
No, it wasn't that one. I wanted that one.
No, the one that's like a square with a curved edge.
Yeah.
Was it that?
Yeah.
And the buttons are all like round the side of it, like in a circle.
No, the LG chocolate, like, it was touch, like, it was a slide up phone, but the things were touch screen.
Oh.
It was proper. It looked very James Bondy. I thought I was sick. I thought I was so sick when I got that. But yeah, MSN was a big thing when I was in.
You missed out on that because if you don't know fear like ringing your friend knowing their mum's gonna answer.
I don't remember doing that. I feel like I must have.
Or you ring girls and you know that it's their mum or dad answering.
Yeah, no, man. It's not 1975. Why are you still ringing house phones to try and talk to?
Because who had 10p credit? Like, not me.
I'm trying to think how social media was there, man.
No, but MSN, like, back in them days, it was like if your mum was on the phone, the internet didn't work.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Or, like, certain people had to be off the computer at this time because you only had one desktop. Now, like, probably bare people in your house might have a laptop, yeah? Back then, you had one desktop.
Had that one wham computer.
Wham. Bare noise. You put your phone near the speaker and it just make,
Yeah, I remember.
Wham.
Crazy. Damn.
So, boy, if you had to give up the computer for an adult doing actual important stuff.
Yeah, and you're vexed.
You had to ring them on the house phone. Can you imagine a guy rang your house phone late at night? Not late at night because you're not that old, but like even at like 5:30 p.m. Not a.m., not prank call,
risky,
but
man.
p.m.
Yeah, no, that never happened. I think by the time I was at a stage where people would be calling for me, I had a phone.
Right.
Like, I feel like my mum didn't let me have Facebook till I was 16. So I feel like year 7, that's when... I'm pretty sure I had MSN when I was in like year 6.
Yeah,
so
MSN was
6,
about...
7,
but also,
8.
they weren't always online.
Ping, 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 ping. You're coming online at some point. 100%.
Shit. Those were the days, man.
I miss it, man.
But to recap, I don't think trolling's quite like prank calls for the reasons we've just discussed.
I think it's the new prank call.
I think it's a gateway. Like, you start with prank calls and you become a troll, or you kind of fix up like me.
Yeah.
I didn't become a troll.
Not everyone matures. I think the people that used to do prank calls are probably the weirdo trolls now that just sit in their mum's basement with pizza and beer.
Yeah.
Look at this slag. Oh,
Yeah. The karma's paying up, like, it's coming back to hit me, though, because I get a couple trolls sometimes, and some of the trolls are not trolls, because when it's funny, I don't mind. I get a lot of people telling me, like, on TikTok or Insta, like, bro looks like this. It's always bro looks like.
Yeah, because do you know what it is? People are always trying to get attention and be funny and get the most likes, comment. And people are always just trying to. Do you know what I mean? It's
Do the
weird.
most.
It's really weird. It's what they're like. The internet's just become a who can get the most attention.
Yeah,
kind of
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Who can say the most horrible things? Sometimes I see people post pictures, just innocently posting pictures, and someone will quote tweet it like, "Oh, you should have deleted this, or you should have never posted this," and that will get a thousand.
That's
retweets.
just horrible, though. That's not right.
But people like to be horrible. Sorry.
Yeah. Now, I don't know. I know people do like to be horrible, but I'd like to think that if someone was horrible, the internet might unite in favor of the person who
Sometimes
was
they
getting,
do.
like, wrongly cussed out for no reason. That's the worst, when it's just like for no... Well, there's never a reason, but
There's
like...
never a reason.
Especially when you don't even know someone, or like... Because you could maybe cuss your friend in a jokey way.
Yeah.
Someone misconstrues it. But like when it's like random Don from like Sheffield commenting on my shit and he wants to ruin my day.
It's weird. And it's always the same. My thing is I don't get upset because when people try to chat shit or like they try to leave horrible comments or they just try to be weird, I look at their profile and I'm just like, this makes so much sense. Do you?
Yeah, yeah.
You need this. Do you know what I mean?
Grayed out picture. Mad.
It's either they look questionable or there's no display picture. And you got bigger problems than me right now. I'm gonna let you have that. It's just not worth it. Do you know what I mean? So you just have to leave them, man.
You gotta let
You gotta let it
That's
alone.
the best way, innit? One thing at my work, innit? Because I work for like a sports company, they do like, there's bare writers.
Mm-hmm.
They had this little talk about like how to deal with trolls. And the only way is ignoring them, innit? I write articles, yeah, for context about video games.
Mm-hmm.
And I get bare comments, or sometimes even non-video games, like actual football. And people will comment like, I expect better from this website. This isn't good enough analysis or whatever. And then I'll reply like, actually, yo, it is. And then you get in some rabbit hole and you'll never win.
Yeah.
Because then another Don piles in.
It's not worth
And then
it.
another Don, and it's like, fuck, man, I've opened up a can of worms. Like, it's
And
long.
you can't win against people with no profile picture. You'll be sitting there for 4 hours going back and forth with someone that is loving this. You're giving them everything that they wanted. They wanted your attention. Like they wanted to piss you off, and you're showing them that you've gotten to me, you've pushed my buttons, and you're
Yeah.
exactly where you wanted me. Do you know what I mean?
It is hard though.
It's hard. It's difficult.
It's not
man.
easy to just bite your tongue and be like, I'm gonna say nothing here, but that
course
is the
not.
way to do it.
And people just automatically assume that if you're on social media and you've kind of put yourself in the public eye, you should be able to just take whatever opinions come at you. And that's not the case. Do you know what I
I
mean?
do think like part of me, because I obviously post bare stuff out there, yeah. I do. How do I phrase it? Like, if you're posting stuff, I wouldn't say like, cool, you've posted it, I can be how horrible I want. But I do think that like, if you post stuff, you kind of got to expect that not everyone's going to like it. But then what they do when they've realized they don't like it is where it could either be like acceptable or like wrong, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So you'll scroll through TikTok every day or Insta and you'll see things you don't like. You're not, but if you go to the length of commenting and trying to hurt that person, that's where it gets a bit like questionable.
That's
innit?
weird. I think that's so weird. I think it's so easy to just scroll past something
Yeah,
or block someone or like just mute them.
just mute them.
If it gets to you that bad, I feel like having to come out of your way to comment and make someone feel like shit is a personal flaw.
It says more about you.
Yeah, you got something going on, man.
You do. You do.
Imagine like there'll be people dancing on TikTok just because they like dancing, man.
That's
They're
so
having the
deep.
time of their lives, and I'm just like, you enjoy you.
You do
You
you.
have a great time. There's people bullying them in the comments.
Nah,
It's like,
that's wrong.
why?
Yeah, that's wrong.
You should be living life the way they're living life, man.
Mm,
Is what it is, though.
yeah. Cool. For them people that heard the preview in like minute 19, segment time, innit? Would you rather, yeah? So I think of like 5 questions. Some are kind of related to like you and what you do. Some are just like random questions.
Okay.
You have to pick one.
Okay.
Can't sit on no fence.
Okay.
Question 1, yeah? We'll start with this. Travel back in time or travel to the future, and why?
Future.
The future.
Yeah.
Why?
I'm trying to see how long we got left, man. trying to see what's happening. I don't think there's anything.
What would you want to split? Like, what is it like a money thing? Like, yo, I could like buy some stocks in this company, or
Yeah, I feel like I
or is it more like what is your reason for wanting to see the future?
I want to see where I am in the future. I'd like to see what's popping in the future, so I can, all right, let me invest in some robots.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? So I know where the money makers are. I feel like there's nothing in. You can't change the past. So
No, I assume you could though.
back.
Assume you could.
So you can change the past.
Yeah, because otherwise, what's the point in traveling back in time? There'd be no reason to do it.
But that's what I'm saying. So
you can alter the...
I can also what's happened.
Yeah. So you could go back to uni and be like, cool, instead of comedy, I'll pick, like, I'm going to become an actor, or like...
I would have gone back in time and...
done comedy from early, whatever. You could undo stuff as well.
No, I would have redirected the white people's ships so they couldn't colonize them. That's exactly what I've done. I would have got rid of slavery. That's what I'm doing. I'm not... Like, don't trust them. Don't let them on. Like, what? Don't let them in. That's what I would have done. If we're changing time, that's what I would have done.
So you can change time.
All right, calm. Then, but at the same... Yeah.
So you travel back in time.
Yeah, man.
I don't actually know what I'd pick. Luckily, I don't have to pick because I asked the questions, but...
Yeah, because you threw a spanner in the works. Because usually people are like, you can't change anything.
Then what's the point?
You can travel in the future and see what's going to happen, or you can travel back in time to a specific point.
And do what, though? You've got a memory. Like, you've got a brain.
Happened.
Like, what?
But is it... You said back in time. It might not be back in my time.
True. Yeah.
If it's back in my time, then I'm going to go in the future.
No, yeah. Okay, yeah. Anytime.
Yeah.
You know what? The safest bet would be, go back as, like, far as you can, but, like, make it... Obviously, you'll know of all the other events, innit? So, like, you know when, like, I don't know, Coca-Cola was launched or whatever. So, you know, all right, cool, let me slap a little fiver down in, like, 1912 or whatever.
Yeah.
And you make a note and you keep going back and then...
You see, you've overcomplicated it, though, man. If you make it back in my time, back in our time, that's an easier thing.
All right, scrap that, yeah? Travel back 10 years and you can change stuff, or travel forward 10 years and you can change stuff.
Forward 10 years.
Forward.
Yeah. I don't think I would change anything.
Again, for me, it would be a money thing, but, like, yeah, you take the money out of it, then it's kind of pointless.
Yeah, like, I feel like 10 years ago, what would I have done at the age of 15? What am I doing? I ain't got no money to invest.
No, but, like, if you put a plan together, you could. You get me?
Get a business plan.
Sell that LG chocolate.
Create Uber Eats.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's true.
Because you know it would work.
It's true.
So.
I still think I'd go in the future, though.
So you've just been fleeting between the two. So we're going in the future.
If it's our time span, then I would go in the future, because I don't think there's... I think everything that's happened in the past has made today what it is. Do you know what I mean? So I wouldn't change anything.
Yeah.
But I would go in the future to see what's going to happen.
Cool.
In my life.
All right. Cool. This one's a bit about comedy, yeah? So, would you rather be, a mediocre comedian, like bang average, but the richest comedian, or everyone knows you as the best comedian, but your earnings are like whatever the UK national salary is that year, that's what you earn? So
be meaty.
Medium rich.
Medium rich, 100%, man. There's plenty of meaty rich people in the world. It's not even just comics. There are plenty of people that are just all right at what they do and have made money because they know exactly what to do with what they've been given, man. 100%.
When you're meaty, though, it's like your jokes get like mediocre responses and you're not getting a lot.
You lot are buying tickets. You lot are buying tickets, and clearly it's repetitive purchasing of tickets.
Yeah.
Because you lot are enjoying what you're seeing, man. So
I hear that.
I'd firm the one clap a show.
That's sympathy clap.
That's sympathy clap. God forbid, though.
All right. Cool, yeah. You got a cat, innit?
Yeah.
This one, I got a cat as well, so this one kind of threw me off, yeah. All right. So you have to stop comedy for a year and you get to keep your cat, or don't stop comedy and you have to give your cat away.
What?
It's a mad question, and it gets you thinking. And when I say stop comedy, it means like can't write jokes, can't go to shows, nothing comedy in your life for 1 year.
Who came up with this question?
Me.
You're a sick man. You're a very sick man.
No, because I got a cat and I love my cat. And I try and pick questions where it's like, what's an actual tough question? I don't want to ask easy questions. It's a hard question.
telling me to get rid of my livelihood, man.
No, for 1 year. You pause it for a year.
Pause it for a year.
And you can, after 1 year, then you're back to it.
But a year is such a long time, man. So much can happen in a year.
Yeah.
But is it give my cat away for a year or forever?
Forever.
That's such a ridiculous...
No, because obviously then it's easy because then you just continue your career.
But you'd miss your cat for a year. That's a long time, you know, not being with your cat.
Yeah.
My cat would have to hold it, man.
So you've gone from you're a sick man to like, yeah, my cat could
No,
just...
because if you think about it, a year is such a long time and it's my livelihood. I can't make money.
Let's say
doing
your
what I
income
love.
was supplemented another way. It's not
How?
like be
What's the
broke
way?
for a
I'd
year.
I had to have a 9 to 5.
I guess, because then if you were just getting paid to sit at home, then that might be cushy, innit?
No, I'd be depressed.
Yeah. So you're giving that you're pausing. You're getting rid of the cat.
I'd give her to like a family member, so I could still see her every day.
Nah,
Tactical thinking. I found a leeway. I found a loophole. You can't try and change it.
All right. I'll give you that. I'll give you that one still. So what? You're from Croydon, yeah?
Yeah. You might as well say the fucking road.
So if you turn right at West Croydon, no, I'm joking. All right, cool, yeah. Sell out. So I checked the Fairfield Halls. I think it's like around 2K capacity, yeah. Sell that out 10 times, or sell out the O2 once for like your own show.
Fairfield Halls 10 times.
10 times.
Yeah.
Rather than the O2 once.
Yeah.
Okay. How comes?
I think because Fairfield Hall is a bit more intimate. And I think like you can see the audience, you can interact with them a bit more.
You can't really do that at the O2.
O2, you can't really see or hear anyone like that.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Is the laughter delayed?
You can't really hear laughs. You have to kind of just tell yourself that they're laughing. Like you have to speak quite slowly, pause, tell yourself, all right, they're probably laughing here. Let me give myself 3 seconds and then you continue.
Okay.
It's like, it's not... And you have to speak at a certain speed because the sound has to travel to the back of the venue and bounce back to you. Do you know what I mean? Because there's so many people there. So I feel like I'd probably do Fairfield Halls 10 times.
Okay.
I mean, arena tour comes. God bless.
Yeah. That's still mad. 10 times. Fairfield Halls is still 30.
Crazy.
All right, cool. I asked this one to bet everyone, yeah? Cool, yeah? Let's say there was a gig where if you smash it, you can become like a superstar and you can define what that happens. So whatever you want, you get, yeah, if you smash this gig. And if you don't, you have to quit comedy. But the criteria for the gig, the criteria for the gig is, yeah, you pick where it is, how long you do, and your 3 favorite comedians have to judge. And there's an audience there, so they'll be like, they'll decide, yeah, she smashed it, cool, she passed, or no, she doesn't. So basically, you take the gig, and if you smash it, like, you get whatever you want. And if you bomb, you have to quit. Or you can just not take the gig and continue as you are.
I'd do the gig.
You do the gig?
Yeah.
Okay. Where would you do it?
At either the Tommyfield, which is a pub in Kennington. It's a fantastic room. It's one of my favourite places to perform. Up the Creek. I feel like Up the Creek is always sensational vibes.
Great vibes.
Always great vibes. Or Comedy Store.
Okay, you have to pick one though, innit? You can't pick 3.
You didn't give me that option. All right, I do.
Tommyfield, the pub, yeah?
Yeah.
And then how long would you do the set? You can pick.
I could do between 5 and 10 minutes.
5, and they're going to judge you on that as well, though. Remember that.
10.
Because you could go up to like an hour.
I'm not going to do an hour.
Yeah.
I don't need to do an hour.
Most people say like 20, but it'll be like
no,
15,
I can give you a solid 10.
Solid 10. And then who are the 3 comedians that... It can't be comics you know. It's not like your friends on the circuit. That's a bit of a... Like, that's too easy. Can't be like, yeah, like I supported him on tour, so obviously he's going to give me a part. It's got to be people you've never met.
That I've never met? All right.
You're thinking this one through, innit?
Because you said that I've never met, man, and I've met
You've met everyone, innit?
Not everyone, but I've met some of my favorite comics. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What about American comics that you might not have met?
Oh, that's even harder because I feel like American comics don't always rate British comics. So all right, I'd have Lee Evans, yeah. Kevin Hart. And Dave Chappelle. Judging.
Say no more. That's the gig. So you take it.
Yeah, I take it.
Okay. It's different people give different responses to that one. That's why I like the question.
Yeah, no, that's a good question.
Some people have been like, no, because I'm going to be a star anyway. So, like, they just don't take it.
I respect it.
And then other people are like, no, I wouldn't do it because I don't want to risk quitting comedy, innit? Like, and all different reasons. So
I feel like when I put necessary pressure on myself, I know when I need to smash something.
Big game player.
Yeah, like I know when I need to put my all into anything.
I hear that.
I wouldn't let myself flop that, especially if I knew my career was on the line.
Yeah, it's make or break. And there's obviously it's not like just them three. It's a real audience.
Yeah, there's a whole audience there. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Okay. Cool. That was the segment. Listeners who sat on the edge of their seats, hope it was worth it. Cool. Tell them what's coming up from you next. Like, you're going to Edinburgh and that. What else you doing?
Yeah, I'm in Edinburgh, man. All of August, I'll be
All of it?
Yeah, the whole of August, man.
Are you doing like a solo show or?
No, so I'm doing the Pleasance Reserve.
I don't know what that is.
So basically, the Pleasance Reserve is where they bring a couple comics up to Edinburgh, and then you do like 15 minutes each a night.
Oh, that's all right.
Yeah, so it's so calm. So I'll be up there for the whole month. I've got gigs coming up, man. Just literally, I'm in grind mode at the moment. So just keep a look on my socials, and you know my upcoming gigs are.
What's your socials?
Oh yeah, my Instagram and TikTok are at it's Kyrah Gray. That's when I'm most active. I don't really use Twitter. I probably should use it a bit more.
Everyone says that. They're like, yeah, Instagram, TikTok, don't use Twitter.
I find Twitter so negative, man. I scroll on a daily basis, but I just find it so negative. So negative. I just don't really like it. So I don't really use it, but I will get into it eventually. It's the same as Instagram and TikTok. If you want to follow, feel free, man.
Cool. Well, that's the socials. If you're in Edinburgh, hit up the Pleasance Reserve. Go see Kyra. And also, this episode, yeah, so that's it. But this episode, obviously, if you're watching on YouTube, like, subscribe, comment an emoji. I don't know, just do something, innit? Like, emojis, tell me your best knockdown ginger story, whatever, just engage, please.
As he said.
Huh?
As he said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Subscribe, Spotify, Apple Music, like that. Give that a little 5 stars. Again, send it to your friends. And that's it. I think this was episode 8. I'm pretty sure. I'm done with the numbers in it. It's an episode.
Yeah, it's not going that well, is it?
The numbers I'm lost. From when I messed it up last time, now I'm just in
It's a bit of a wrap. Is what it is, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been defeated by numbers, but anyway, another episode of the AJ Rose Show. See you lot in a bit.